Hey Mashable, what are you guys doing here, yaar? You know, you've heard about Chinese bhel and everything, but like I thought, okay, let's do something a little bit hatke. So what we thought was, let's integrate tuna, give a little bit of Japanese flair into it. So we got the Tuna Bhel. What we need to do first is, of course, season the tuna. For that, we need touch of salt, mirin. You need mirin, so this helps in kind of like, you know, giving a little bit texture to the tuna. Date and tamarind chutney. And then we have this special coriander lime sauce. This one is a little bit a touch from Venezuela as well. So we marinate this first and let that set. After that, we'll move on to the main part, which is the bhel. Bhel ke liye, what we use here is poha. Nice crispy toasted poha. The more crispy it is, utna hi maza. So we start with poha, peanuts, papadi, you need dil daga ke, tomatoes, cucumber. Now this one is another Japanese integration which you wanted to put is edamame. It gives you a nice flavor. जैसे डालते हैं ना green peas in peas, वो हम लोग तो चाहे edamame डाल के try करते हैं. We go crazy with the sauces. So this is our two sauces which you put, and फिर बाद में bhel हो गया. Then we put on the marinated tuna. After, what we're going to do is we're going to drizzle some of our sauces on top, which is our coriander lime mayo, a touch of our date and tamarind chutney, magic dust of save. Without save, how there is bhel. Finishing touches is our homemade besan para tuna bhel. You know, when you were kids, you always had uttapam, right? So now you have hard shell tacos, you have soft shell tacos. They're basically made from corn. So I'm like, how can we make it desi? You know, like uttapam is very similar, but it's made with rice. So it's gluten free. So it's even easier for me to sell it to my vegan clientele plus gluten free clientele. In desi, it's just onion tomato, but at the end you say piccati gallo. So we put piccati gallo on top of dosa. It becomes onion tomato dosa. So if you look at soft shell tortilla, it nicely folds. Same thing with the uttapam. So it's cooked on one side, slightly cooked on the other side. You get that nice crisp underneath. Fun part about it is all of this is basically grown in UAE. So now what you're going to do is you're going to cook the stew. Like that's what we call it, what we put inside the uttapam taco. So what we do is, once you get your pan nice and hot, then we put in our mushrooms. This one is our king oysters, our button, and then you have our portables. So what you need is, you want the mushrooms to become brown. Mushroom brown ho gaye. So now what we're going to do is, we're going to use our pre-made homemade sauce. This is our onion tomato masala. Okay, so we put a little bit of our onion tomato masala. We're going to use this. This is our kali miri sauce. Okay, it's got black pepper sauce. The fun part about this black pepper sauce is the black pepper which we use, we literally boil it 5 times, because pepper has this resin. If you use too much pepper, it gives you that bitter taste. So what this does is, it mellows down your pepper, but also kind of like, you know, removes the whole bitterness from it. We're going to put our butternut squash on it. So this gives you body. And of course, we have some desi curry patta. Lots of it. This is basically a South Indian twist with an Asian influence here. So now what we're going to do, we'll stuff this nice beautiful stew inside our uttapam. Something which we kept true to this is our piccati gallo. So we have some onion, tomato, coriander, some lemon juice. So this gives you that freshness. This is our crunch factor, which is our actual corn tortilla juice.
So we are gonna make a non-traditional butter chicken, and the thing that's making it non-traditional, we are using chicken tikki patties, not the regular chicken tikka. So we'll be starting by searing the chicken tikka over here. So we are using 5 patties, touch of oil for all the health conscious people over there. So we are just gonna keep it like for 30 seconds, not much. We just wanna get that sear done on the surface. So the chickens have been seared right now. So अभी हम इनको डायरेक्ट अभी ओवन में डालेंगे Our oven will be cooking it for around 4 to 5 minutes. You always have to make sure you have some dusters with you because the oven is very hot, might get burned as well. So now we are gonna make the gravy. Gravy is basically a makhni gravy that we are using. Makhni in India basically means like butter. So this gravy is basically tomato based, but it tastes more like butter. Then we're gonna start with our cashew truffle cream, some kasuri methi, cardamom powder, and for all those people who don't like spice, just a touch of honey. Basically mixing everything together. And once we start getting some boil, there's the time we add butter. While we add the butter, we will get the flames down so that basically the butter starts infusing better with the gravy there. That's our chicken. It's ready right now. The beef with some flour, corn flour and rice flour in that to give that crunchy flavor. And by the way, the beef that I'm using is Australian tenderloin. That itself says that it's gonna be very smooth, texture, juicy. So we're gonna let it fry so that it becomes crispy and little bit of a golden color that comes out. So as you can see, the beef has fried well enough, and you can also see the slight golden touch over there. So we are making the mashed potatoes ready. Just to make sure, you always use a non-stick pan that's always there. And the thing what happens is that if the pan remains cold, then it will start sticking. So you gotta make sure your pan is warm enough when you're mixing it. And then also butter, that also helps to loosen it up. The mash looks almost ready, good to go. No, I just forgot something here, and that's gonna be very problematic. So this is our homemade truffle oil that gives an extra punch to the mash. Like the viewers, I'm quite sure they cannot smell it, but then yeah, the people around here can smell it. When you don't have wok, you can always use a kadai. We as Indians, we don't have wok, right? We always play with kadai. Now we add our kali miri sauce. Now we start mixing. Now we go with the cream. So we gave it a quick mix. The beef is ready. Now time to plate.
We did so many fusions with all our dishes. We thought dessert, what can we do something special with it? So we took French, then we took Desi, we took our ras malai, and then we added into a creme brulee.